I mean, okay, so I kind of have a different strategy for this. Like, I plan to have multiple wives.
Okay.
I don't believe in monogamy.
Okay.
I don't believe in monogamy. I think it's a lie.
And so you'd be with multiple women
Misogyny.
at one time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Solomon.
I think not Solomon. I wouldn't go that crazy. But yeah, I just don't think monogamy is a realistic approach for a majority of men. Just simply isn't.
And all those girls can only be with you.
Yeah, of course.
What, and you provide them for all of them?
Right.
Yes.
And
Okay.
where are you
Okay.
living? In the United States?
Well, if I'm gonna have kids, I'd probably go to United Arab Emirates. To be honest,
So which one would you live with?
I wouldn't live with any of them. I don't believe in living with women. I think it's one of the worst things you could do. Actually, is cohabitate with a female.
Ooh, what happened?
I agree.
Right.
No, actually, you know what's funny? I've never lived with a girl before, so it's not what happened. It's I just know what will happen.
What will happen?
What, Myron?
How long we been on YouTube for? No.
I know what you want to say.
Bills?
An hour 45. Yeah, I'll say it. Look, women are inherently lazy.
How dare you?
You know, are there some go-getters out there? Of course, right? We have some here on the panel. But in general, if I was to take a group sample of 100 females, in general, they don't have the same drive to work as hard as men. And there's biological reasons for that. Your sexual market value or your ability to attract a partner is not contingent upon your workload. Versus for us, our ability to attract a female is 100% contingent on our workload and our ability to work. So, you know, no guy sits there and says, oh yeah, like the most important thing for me is having a woman that's ambitious. Like, no, that's a fucking lie. But for women,
A go-getter.
they want a guy that's ambitious and a go-getter. So knowing that, living with a female makes you soft. Now, some of you might say, no, I can help you out and shit like that. But let's be honest, you want to go to work? Oh no, stay and watch movies with me. Oh, let's have ice cream.
My feelings.
Why? So it's like, what ends up happening, and they've done studies on this with men that are married and have kids, their testosterone actually goes down. They start getting complacent, start gaining weight, they start feeling comfortable. And as a man, I think comfort is one of your arch nemesis. So to stay sharp, you either live alone or live with guys that are also ambitious.
Live with guys.
Live with men, yeah. If I mean, I live alone, but like, if you really want to have, if you really want to have competition, like you live in a big ass mansion with like your buddies or some shit or your brother, I think that's a good way to. That's better off than living with a woman. So, and then also the other thing too that's important.
You wouldn't get complacent living in a crib with like a bunch of men?
No, because men naturally compete.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Men naturally compete, so that wouldn't be an issue. The other thing too with living with a woman is you become familiar. And unfortunately for women, familiarity builds contempt, right? And I've always said like a woman's imagination is like your best tool as a guy. So when she doesn't know what you're doing all the time, you actually become far more attractive. So you're better off not living with her. There's just too many advantages to not living with women, right? Between being lazier, getting fatter, losing your drive, losing your edge, being too familiar. Women need a lot of stimuli to stay attracted to a man. And I think by you not being with her, you inevitably ignite these stimuli that will make you more attractive.
Nah, man, I think it's on the guy to have those boundaries to not let something like that happen. For him to give up on his workload and not go to work so he can watch a movie. Like, no, like that's on the guy to hold his boundaries
Okay,
straight.
hold on one sec. That's coming from you.
Let me finish.
Hold on, wait.
I'm gonna finish.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah, you're gonna finish.
So
you're on my show. Hold on. You're on my show. Understand where you're at, okay? That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, you got to understand, just because I already know where you're going with this, I'm talking to 3,000 plus women, a lot of them successful like you, understand that a minority of women have that mindset. And a minority of women understand that a man's job comes first. Most of them are more interested in, I come first, fuck your job, so hang out with me. And the guy will have to listen to a bunch of lip and headaches for going to work. So what will he do? To avoid the argument, he will stay with the wife.
Well, your dad is really successful.
But you gotta work and make the money. If you don't go to work,
be quiet. Be quiet. The point I'm trying to make is she understands that going to work is important because she's an entrepreneur, but most women aren't. And they're going to be angry and feel some type of way by you going to work instead of hanging out with her.
I don't know.
So that mindset that you have is a minority of females.
But you see, now there, what you're saying is you already know that you have to be with a woman who's an entrepreneur or who understands that coming from you in order for you to have a relationship with her. Because if you're attracted from a regular woman, a female, you're attracted, and she works a 9 to 5, and then you start the relationship with her, and she's very needy, you know right there and then, that's a no-go.
Okay.
So you can't continue this.
Let's have fun with this. Let's rewind like 20 seconds. Successful entrepreneur, right? Right here, right? I was making a statement, or she was making a statement. I cut in, and she said, I'm going to finish. And I was like, no, you're not going to finish. I'm going to finish. Here's the thing with entrepreneurial successful women. They behave like men. They're assertive. They're dominant. If I let her, she would have gone ahead and tried to overtalk me on my own show.
And combative.
And combative. And I don't like to use that example, but I think it's the most organic example that we literally just witnessed now. Entrepreneurial women tend to have these traits that are very masculine. Guess what? I don't want to date myself. I want to date a woman that's a woman. What I say goes. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. This isn't a committee. This isn't equality. None of that shit.
Shut up,
so,
bitch!
Though you're saying be with an entrepreneurial woman because she'll understand your grind, that's cool and all, but then I have to deal with the headaches of arguing with her like we almost just got into now.
Yep.
So that's why we don't like entrepreneurial women, because we don't want to date ourselves.
But
So would
thank
you
you. I
rather a
appreciate
laptop?
that. Correct me. You know, like we've been over masculinized in this society for sure. I want to be feminine.
Okay, but here's the problem.
But hold on.
Hold on.
Thank
Stop.
you.
Hold on.
Genuinely.
You see that?
Thank
No,
you.
hold on. You think I enjoyed telling you to be quiet, I'm going to speak? It's very annoying. Imagine doing this every fucking day.
Yeah.
So, men want to just be able to have peace and relax. We don't want to have to argue with you. Now, they're like, great, like, I want more guys that could do that. Most of us don't want to do that shit.
Yeah.
I have to already go out into the world and fight men all the time when I'm competing.
Yep.
Last thing I want to do is be talking, and then my girl sits there and says, well, I'm talking, I want to say something because she's an entrepreneur and she runs her business, and then I got to fight with her. Like, no, we'd rather just deal with a girl that's young, attractive, not going to argue with me and everything else like that. So, entrepreneurial women think you guys think you're like super attractive and a catch, but to be honest with y'all, a lot of you guys are headaches. No offense.
But a relationship is a two-way. You have to give and take. And right now, in that scenario right there that
Yeah.
you just told her, I know you didn't want to go through that.
Yeah.
But by you telling her, she already said, you know what, I'm sorry. Forgive her. And then you're like, you know what, all right.
Sorry,
you move
raise your
forward.
hand if you're married. Okay, got you, right?
Now, I get what you're saying. On paper, that's like, that could work, but you got to understand there's death by 1,000 paper cuts. I don't want to have to sit there and constantly have to assert my dominance and my masculinity to my girl all the time. It's annoying. Like, I'm
all
doing it on this
females.
show, right, because it is what it is. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that it's extremely tiresome and annoying and frustrating to constantly have to assert your masculinity with your woman. Does that make sense?
But would
Because
you
we already have to do that when we go out to the real world.
Would
So
you
you
not have
basically
that
don't want
with
her-
the girl who was wanting to eat ice cream and be in bed all day, though? Who's whinging on it?
Because I could just tell her, no, I'm not going. Sorry, I'm not gonna go have ice cream with you. I might have to deal with a little bit of a headache later on. Like, but what's easier? Me telling her I'm not eating ice cream with you and I leave, versus a girl that she'll understand. Okay, baby, I understand. You got to go work, or whatever. But then when I come home, she's challenging me on everything.
Yeah.
You got to pick your battle, right? So I'd rather deal with a submissive woman that I could tell her, no, I'm doing this, versus a girl that she understands my struggle because she's also an entrepreneur. But I got to deal with her masculine energy all the time.
So you'd rather like a lapdog girlfriend?
See, that's another extreme.
Yeah.
See, here's the problem, right?
I know, but I feel like that's what it is.
No, you say you feel
Fresh,
like
get her.
You feel like. See, here's the problem, right?
Get it fresh.
A lot of guys work their asses off for the home, and to come home to a nagging person is incredibly destructive.
And vice versa.
And it's funny
Agreed.
because a lot of men say, "Oh, well, I can help you, babe. I'm an entrepreneur too, as well." The problem is, you guys kind of attack us passively, not always directly. You might say, "You know what? All right, my man's home, but I feel like he's doing X, Y, Z." Versus, he's tired. He wants to relax, sit down, and just chill.
Sit
You're
down,
like,
massage, back rub.
Hold
You're
on,
on your
hold on.
way. You're on your
Do you do
way.
that,
I'm
though?
ready. Eat dessert first.
If I had a husband, I would. If I had a man at home, yes.
You should.
Hold on. What happens is though, you guys often, more often than not, you guys nag them slowly but surely, and it's funny because like you think you're helping them, but you're actually hurting them. And the guy
Yes,
that's working his ass off is like, "Yo, come home to you
Yes.
to chill and relax and wind down." You're making it worse by arguing with me.
Yes.
It's annoying.
Wait,
It
wait,
is.
wait, wait,
What
wait, wait.
about those men who are like successful and they're like bosses and then they like to come home and be bossed around by their wife?
What?
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
let's say that argument
That's
is
a minority of
and
men.
not- and not like-
amount of men,
bro.
small amount of men.
And not like
You're talking about. She's talking about the sexual deviants that like to get dominated,
wow,
bro. This
that's
is a
not
minority
what
of
I'm
men.
talking
Yeah.
about. But that's who. But
Yeah, you are.
no, because there's some men who
Oh,
like
he's a boss
they
guy.
come home and
He
they
has
like their
money.
woman to take the lead.
They
It's not
let the woman
necessarily
take the lead?
like an
Would
argumentative thing.
you respect that man?
Huh?
Would you honestly respect that man?
Well, yeah, because he's the one that's going out and doing what he has to do.
You can't, bro.
I'm not happy.
I feel like there's a lot
Where's your
of
man now then? Where's your man now?
Thank you so much. This has been so. This whole thing
Eye-opening?
has been. Oh my God. Well, I mean, I've done a lot of work for
Enlightening.
myself, but to hear you guys talk, straight up, it's been amazing.
Well, I think the thing is that guys can't be honest about this because
Yeah,
it's a
sucks.
very uncomfortable conversation, and guys want to get laid, so they're not going to tell you,
Of
hey,
course.
you're annoying, or hey,
Yeah,
you're
hey,
too
bitch.
domineering,
What's up,
hey,
bitch?
I don't really give a fuck about your opinion. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway because you're a woman and I'm a man. Men can't really be honest about these things.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to, and I don't mean to use you as an example in this situation,
No,
but
please.
but I think it's very important that it's a learning lesson where you didn't even feel it. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna say something because I'm sales, I'm assertive, like etc. And then I had to remind you, you're still a fucking female and you're gonna be quiet when I talk. But again, this is a skill set that very few men possess, and very few men are willing to assert for fear of coming off as a misogynist, a chauvinist, an asshole, not getting laid, whatever. So most guys are scared to put their foot down with women because we live in this feminized world where we tell men that men and women are equal and we all deserve the same privileges and rights. Versus me, I don't look at women as equals. Quite frankly, I look at you guys as inferiors. And the reason why, but some of you guys might say, well, that's misogynistic. That's fucked up. But guess what? Guys that think like me are the best providers because we're not going to let you pay a bill. We understand that we have burden of performance. We got to protect and provide. I don't look at you guys as an equal. And despite what society says about we should be equal, that's not what you guys are fucking attracted to. You want a guy that could put you in your place, pay the bills, and you could just relax. That's what you want.
Facts.
But if I say this out loud,
That's what I want.
I'm considered an asshole, right? So I look at it like, I don't look at women as equals because for me to be a leader and be a dominant and do what you need, I can't look at you as an equal. I can't. Because if I look at you as an equal, I'm going to say, oh yeah, guys invaded the house. It's your turn to deal with this. Like, no, that's my job. I got to go fucking deal with it, not you.
Yeah.
So that's why this egalitarian mindset that we live in has been so destructive, which comes back to feminism.
Well, I would say definitely. I agree somewhat to what you say because honestly, I feel like there is a partnership between men and women. Should be a partnership, which that's broken. And I would say the majority is what we said before. Women are right now feminist, and we put you guys down. I don't do that anymore because obviously I learned my lesson. I had to work on myself because I know what I did as a woman, as a feminist woman, right? Who I used to be and who I was. But right now, I would say definitely that we need to give men their place. 100%. God first, men, wife,
Children.
and then the children. Even the children, because the children will go away.
Yeah.
So a lot of women put their children first, and they forget about their men, and then that's where the whole thing start. Going.
The
after
only thing I
somebody
would
else.
disagree with that on is because you said partnership.
Yeah.
A partnership assumes equality. And you even said just now, because you referenced the Bible, God, man, and woman.
Correct.
Well, if there's a hierarchy, by definition, it means it can't be a partnership. So, because a partnership assumes equality. And that's kind of where I come in, and I'm like, no, it's not I look at it more like the man is the boss and the woman is the assistant or the aide, the secretary. And I think that's the best way to look at it because the man's in a leadership role, he's dictating things, and the woman is there to assist. But like, when we assume a partnership, that assumes equality, and I think that's where we fuck up. Once a man thinks he's equal to you, he's not going to perform. So he needs to be put in the leader's role.
Yeah. You're right.
Which comes
He's
with
the
more
leader.
responsibility.
Yeah.
But there are
He's the
some men
leader.
who naturally I don't know, at least okay, so like my last relationship, I feel like he was more feminine in the sense of like he was looking at me like, all right, so what we gonna do, babe?
Yeah, and how'd that relationship go?
It didn't go. That's why I left.
There you go. Congratulations, you
But
proved my
a lot
point.
of men are like that nowadays, where they want like.
And that's a problem.
Thanks to
a woman.
feminism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
You guys
That's-
wanted it.
Well, I
when you were
hated
equal
it.
to men.
I
I know
didn't
you
do
got
that.
it. Look what you cost.
So
Yeah.
what
I didn't
does-
want that.
What does a
you can
submissive
think
woman look like?
the feminization of men, right? The feminization of men
Mm-hmm.
is a direct result of the mass exploitation of feminism. Because guys feel like, oh, we're equal now. And if I feel like we're equal, I'm going to look to you to provide a certain portion. You got to provide, and that's if you're lucky. Most guys, they'll be on some pussy shit, say, just pay for me.
Yeah.
But that is feminism.
Also, you chose him.